Okay, what's going on, everybody? My name is Mangg. Welcome back for some more Dominions 6. Last time we looked at another Warhammer nation, Bretonia. Sort of very Knights of the Round Table kind of stuff. And it was pretty vanilla. I suppose it was the vanilla of ice cream of vanilla of nations sort of things. You know, we tried to spice it up a little bit, but it is what it is. But we're gonna roll up a new one. Might be more interesting, might not be. We'll see. Let's roll. 252 feels like a number we've already had. L.A. Lentia, Last of the Ictiids. Okay. We did M.A. Lentia already. Or no, we did E.A. There's an E.A., M.A., and L.A. Are we going to skip over M.A.? Is that something I should do? Because we did the shark cult. We remember that. They had all the sharks. Then M.A. would be Lord of the Kelp Forest. And L.A. is Last of the Ictiids. I may just go with M.A. just to have like a progression here. Let me just look. Yeah, so M.A. gets the Kelp Kings replacing the Shark Cult. And you get some like giant slug creatures and stuff. It's kind of fun. And then L.A. Last of the Ictiids. They get like illusion magic or something. They get the Mirror Kings crafted illusions, and that protected the Last of the Ictiids. Okay, it's kind of interesting. But yeah, I guess we probably want to do like a progression thing. So we're gonna do MA. I'm gonna change my role here. We're gonna do MA Lentia. And we'll throw in a few more of these MAs. It might get picked, might not get picked. We'll see. And just make sure we got the gem gen. Good. Okay. So we want another one that has a decent amount of water, or some amount of water. Which rules out some stuff. We could do Aluin and be the water nation, though. But we've done that before, where we're the only water nation. And it does tend to be a bit overpowered. Trying to think of what map we did EA Lentia on. We could do Volanus. Yeah, Volanus. I don't know if I've ever done a water nation on Volanus. Let's do that. And this is number 90. Ho ho ho. Closing in on the big 100. M.A. Lentia. Volanus, I think we like, what is it, 9? No, it's 142, right? So 7? I always have to check. It's 142. Recommends between 8 and 12 players. So 8-player Volanus at 142 gives... like 17 provinces. It's a little tight with 8. That's why I think I usually like 7. So we'll do 7. And we'll give them land nations just to be... Because this isn't... There's not much water on Volanus. I don't want to compete. That's bullshit. Yeah, okay. When the star shards rained to the ocean from the sky, not only Earlier was destroyed, but the great shark totem too. Ictiads became free from the influence of the totem, and the shark cult fell. The ruling positions were taken by the Kelp Kings, druids that were living in Recluse when the shark cult was prospering. Alright, so we're still a race of Ictiads, of course. We have amphibious infantry and sacred Illithid slayers. We get water, nature, earth, coastal fire and earth mages, and mountain astral mages. Moderate priests, standard forts. Ictiad scouts, stealthy 50, pretty standard. Ictiad lords, 100 leadership, good. Kelp lord, 150 leadership though, ho ho ho. With 2 gold stars, so yeah, that's commander of choice. Icti priest, level 2 priest. Not bad. Kelp druid. 1 earth, 1 nature, 60% for another earth or nature. It's a very usable mage most of the time. 40% of these guys will just be researchers, but the other 60%, not bad. Icti mage. 2 water, 1 nature, and then another water or nature. Ooh boy, well, that is already a lot more useful, especially underwater. But we have Moss Body spam, and we have not done Moss Body spam in quite a while. I mean, it's not super cheap for that purpose. 295 is kind of pricey, but yeah. Kelp King, cap only. 2 water, 2 nature, 2 priest, 2 holy. And then another water nature, 40% for another water nature. So you could get some of these. I mean, it's not that ridiculous. 4 water or 4 nature. 4 nature is huge. Before Thistle Mace, that means that they can cast then... They can craft, with a Thistle Mace, they can craft the Tree Lord Staff, which gives +2 nature. So, not unreasonable to guess, or to get 6 nature guys. That's pretty big. Carpman Lord, Gaul Coastal Provinces. 100 leadership, and they're pillagers, which we've never done and probably never will do. Ictid Stargazer, non-fort highlands and mountains. 1 astral, 30% for a second one. Yeah, I mean, depends how much you value just having astral. I mean, they can cast body ethereal. And there's that. There is that. And Iron Mage, coastal provinces. 2 fire, 2 earth, 50% for another fire or earth. They are old. They do get Master Smith as well, which means any one of these have 3 fire, 3 earth for foraging purposes. Possibly 4 fire or 4 earth. Pretty good. Not cheap at 320. And they're old. But 2 fire, 2 earth is very, very usable. Not bad. We might want to get a coastal fort going relatively quickly. But we're probably going to want a lot of money. I think high growth, high order here. Units. Ictiad Hunters get 5 protection, 8 defense, 16 hit points though. 14 damage spears and nets. Not bad. Ictiad Warriors. 13 protection, 17 hit points, 9 defense. 14 damage spears, 4 parry shields with 15 protection. Nice, nice, nice. That low defense is kind of a bummer. But 17 hit points is very nice. Different Ictiad Warrior with 18 protection. Oh my goodness. 18 protection, 17 hit points is hard to bring down for the average independent. Yeah, if you assume the average, like, heavy infantry is swinging for 16 slashing. I mean, on average, that's going to do nothing. Nothing or maybe 1 or 2 points of damage. Meanwhile, they're getting stabbed for 14 piercing. But 9 attack is pretty low. This music's like a little too... This is the Aldrich Devourer of Gods soundtrack. It's a little much for looking at units. In fact, this is why I don't usually pick... Like Dark Souls is just too epic for a game like this compared to just like this like peaceful rest music, which is more in tune with looking at units. Impalers, 17 hit points, 18 protection, 11 defense. Pretty not great MR at 8, and speed of 2 seems almost like a typo. It's Bronze Hauberk. It's 5 encumbrance. Speed of 2 is basically just a brick wall, I suppose. I mean, they're damn good at it. 17 damage. But, I mean, they will fall to archers by just being immobile. I mean, underwater, we can cast Friendly Currents, I suppose. But once they're on land, good God. I'm not sure. I don't know why they're that slow, but that is cripplingly slow. And usually the description would be like they're nearly immobile due to how heavy their armor is. But 18 protection is not that heavy, so that seems like a typo. Or just... Oh, the warrior... These guys also have speed 2. What the fuck? You just have immobile dudes. Cerulean Riders. Look at that sprite. Riding giant slugs. So, cavalry, 16 speed, 18 protection, 15 defense, 18 hit points. Relatively reasonable cost. 14 damage on the spears, with a charge bonus. Skilled Rider 2. And they have shields. And the Ceruleans have 42 hit points, size 6, so 1 to a square. They trample, though, holy shit. And have Poison Barb 5. 10 protection, 9 defense. Okay, I mean... Yeah. I wish... Yeah, if they were size 5, they probably wouldn't have trample, you know, that's the thing. So you gotta pick your poison. It's gonna take a lot of Moss Body. And Moss Body isn't really that strong on these things with only 10 protection. Group Regen is much more impactful. But Group Regen, I think, is Nature 3. So we'd have to have the Kelp Kings, but... Yeah, Group Regen on these would be just phenomenal. Illithid Slayer. Look at that, with the Illithid head on a stick. These are our Sacreds, 17 damage Tridents. They get shields, 19 protection, 17 hit points, 12 defense. Still speed 2, though. I mean, weightlessness, I guess, would go a very, very, very long way on these guys because they have 9 encumbrance. They also have Void Sanity for whatever reason that helps you out. Aside from the speed issue, though, and like assuming this was a 12 instead of a 2, pretty strong. 19 protection, 17 hit points as a Sacred with 17 damage. Quite nice. And then Avenger. A different cap-only Sacred. 16 hit points, 5 protection, 8 defense, no armor of any kind. But they get a Life Drain and a Mind Blast. Okay. Used as weapons by the Avengers. Yeah, so they're just carrying around Illithid heads to do the Life Drain and Mind Blast attack. I mean, I know the Mind Blast is pretty damn strong, but... It was strong because I had just like hundreds of them, or I had dozens and dozens of them. On a Sacred, it's a little trickier. And I'm not sure what we'd really pick. You'd have to go kind of heavier on the Bless if you wanted to use them as like a frontline thing. We would need like a strong defensive bless and like Undying so they could really benefit from the life drain. But it could work. But I'm more tempted by making these Slayers work. By giving them weightlessness or something. And then we have Cartman Warriors in all coastal provinces. Speed 3. Jesus. 78 points, 19 protection, 12 defense, 12 damage, long spears, length 4. Not bad, but again, like, just so fucking slow and encumbering. I think the only way we make this work, really... These guys are almost unusable. The only way I really do this is if I had archers, and I don't. So, the only way I'm really going to make this work is by using the Slayers with, like, a decent bless, and the Cerulins on, like, attack rear. They're not super fast, but it's fast enough probably to make it work. It's a weird nation, but let's look. Maybe we have some big movement buffs or something. We can summon magma swimmers, 6+ for 3 fire gems. So our coastal mages can cast this. Am I gonna have to? I'm gonna have to bring up stats. All right, hold on. We love doing this stuff. 3, 1, 4, 6, 8. That's the one. That's the one. M.A. Lentia. And we're gonna look at units for M.A. Lentia. Alright, so the Magma Swimmers have 17 hit points, 10 protection, size 3, 10 defense. Pretty standard stuff. They get a Flame Strike attack, 13 damage, armor piercing, AoE 1. They resist fire 25, poison 10. They have 100% dark vision. They have a heat aura and fire shield and firepower. And they are amphibious. Not bad, but the heat aura is like... without going down like Flame Ward or something... It's hard to say. The Giant Carp. So 5 water gems gets you a Giant Carp. It's aquatic. It's got a Fear Aura, 132 hit points, size 9. 10 protection, 6 defense. It has a Swallow attack, which usually gives it more hit points. Yeah, I mean, in the water, this thing is pretty nasty. But that's it. Greater Cerulin, Giant Slug, 8 water gems. Size 8, 72 hit points, 10 protection, 10 MR, 14 morale, 16 speed still. It's got a 20 damage bite. It's got trample. And it has Slimer, which I think slows anything that hits it. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I mean, 8 water gems is not super cheap. And we'd really want to get regen or maybe Moss Body, probably regen on it. But yeah, pretty damn strong for a trampler. Okay. Alteration, we have a whole lot of nothing. Evocation, we have a whole lot of nothing. Construction. Not even gonna give me a discount on like coral blades or something. Nothing. No. Okay. Enchantment. Animate Kelp. Ritual. 2 nature, 1 holy. 2 nature gems gets you 4+ kelp forms. Sacred amalgamation of an Ictid and an animated kelp. Alright, they have 20 hit points. 5 protection, they're size 4. 9 defense, blah, blah, blah. They get a strangulation attack, 12 armor piercing blunt damage. That also does armor-piercing fatigue damage. We have a Vine Whip, which has an Entangle effect. And Sleep Vines, 3 of them that all do magic resistance negates 33 fatigue. It's pretty nasty. Then 25 resist poison, stealth 60, ambidextrous 4, supply bonus, entangles attackers, blunt resistant, pierce resistant, amphibious, recuperation, and sacred. Well, 4 plus sacreds. Increased by 1 for every extra level. Holy shit. I mean, even without the sacred, they're kind of good. But with a bless, boy. Yeah, so I mean, that means like a 6 nature pretender, or even one of my 6 nature mages that I could theoretically get. We could just be cranking out like dozens of kelps a turn for really a pretty low nature gem cost. Wild. Okay, thaumaturgy, nothing. Blood magic, obviously nothing, and divine, of course, nothing. Okay. Well, we could go all in on sacred kelps then. It's not a bad idea. Any kelp king with 2 nature gems can summon at least 4 of them, right? A turn? And we get 2 nature gems a turn. So starting on like turn 2, I guess, if I make a kelp king turn 1, and we just put our opening research into enchantment, and might not quite hit it, but pretty close. And we can just start getting sacred kelps, which are in some ways better than our actual sacreds, and in some ways worse. The thing is, it's like, we wanted to go weightlessness, right? And if we just look at what that means. What is weightlessness fall under? Yeah, weightlessness. Blast units and their equipment become almost weightless. They ignore most of the weight of heavy armor as well as gain the floating trait. Encumbrance from armor is halved, but still spellcasting is still difficult. So encumbrance from armor is halved. Which would be, then they'd have a total of 6 encumbrance instead of 9. It's really just their base combat speed is also kind of abysmal. So they really need like weightlessness and swiftness. Which you're putting in a lot of points just to make these things like able to move. Fuck. Okay. It might be pointless to go for him, considering how good I could make the kelps and how readily available those things are. It's like, what's the point? Yeah, I mean, and it's wild. Like, none of the descriptions mention this. I don't know if it was an oversight or something got a little busted when porting to Dominion 6, or I don't know. I have no idea, but it's like I'm much better off making the kelp form work. Okay, so what does the kelp form want then? They have 20 hit points, which is good. Very strong, high hit points, but they only have 5 protection, 9 defense. They are blunt and pierce resistant, but not slashing resistant. I can't really give that to them. They have no armor. Maybe I go all the way to just ethereal. Because if we're just summoning kelp and maybe making some cerulins, I really don't need that high of scales. The Ictititan. I really don't need that high of scales. So we might be able to go awake or dormant, but we'd want sort of the usual. I think I might want like solar weapons or something. Because I think they get 3 sleep vine attacks, which do massive fatigue. If all those trigger solar weapons, I don't know if they do. I'm kind of curious. They get a lot of attacks. They also could just benefit from, like, quickness. Like, we could just take quickness. And they would be really nasty. Quickness is expensive, though. I'd have to go very high on water. Like 8 or... No, it's 9. You have to take water 9 just to get it. And magic 1. It's pretty good, but there's a lot cheaper options here. But yeah, I mean, if we wanted to go ethereal anyways, it's also expensive as hell. Because that's Astral 8, Magic 2. Which is going to be pretty tricky to get this going. So maybe instead we take something cheaper like Twist Fate. Or even Fate Weaving. Yeah, maybe Fate Weaving instead. And then beyond that, probably just like attack, like Blood Surge. And attack. Just to make sure they land all these hits. I don't know if trying to help their defense is going to do much. But I think we can tank some scales here. Do I want more than that? Not really. Not if I want to be awake. We could go dormant, though, because it's like, I'm not going to have these out in a good number for probably, like, 8 turns anyways. So we may as well go dormant. That would allow me to get a little bit more going on here. So then I could take a bit more attack. Just go all in on attack. They have 0 encumbrance, so it's all good. Maybe some strength instead. I think their strength is factored in for most of their attacks. Not the entanglement. Oh, not the sleep vines either. Okay, so it's just the strangulation that strength is. Okay, then maybe not. Alright, just do more attack. Okay. We'll give this a shot. Weird bless. Weird everything. We like doing weird stuff nowadays. We get weird with it. This is Volanus with 7 players. So we'll just do 12. Perfect. Okay. Excellent. All right, now this relaxing music needs to stop. Become a prophet. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and just make a kelp king immediately, so we have someone to start summoning kelp. And then we're just gonna make Cerulean riders and that. And we want to get alteration. Enchantment is what I meant. 3. That's our goal. We are playing against Pangea, M.A. Ermor, great. Maragnon, Shinuyama, Kalum again, and Hashima. Another aquatic nation with sharks. What the hell, man? I put that as a land nation. I put all land nations. I guess... Yeah, I mean, I guess he is kind of a land nation. He's amphibious. He has samurai, which he can only make on land as his basic unit. And even sharks? No, this is, yeah, it's aquatic. I don't know. It's just a question of, is he going to start on water? If I pick random land nation and they get a water fort, then something is fucked. That's all I'm saying. So these guys are faster, but have the nets, so we kind of want them to do something like that. Okay. Is that right? $60 Lulu is a lot trickier. Yeah, so we got enchantment 2. We got a ways to go. Alright, for now then, just get me probably the mages. And we'll just get a bunch of slugs. I want the slugs just because it's like the most unique part of this. Nicely done. Nicely done. Only I had more money. Ooh. Cerulean had to do quite a lot of work there, but they killed 38 things, and none of the riders died. But I effectively lost 3, I suppose. Okay, I mean... Dang, we got one here, one here, one here already. I guess I don't really need to see what's beyond that. If we can get another coastal drone, I mean, this game's gonna be easy. All right, enchantment 3 this turn. We should have someone go site search to find more nature, though. Okay, then we want alteration 4 for moss body, because that'll be the other useful aspect here. And you are going to start casting Animate Kelp for the rest of the game. So there they are, Kelp form. We actually could have gone larger as well, because they're already 2 to a square. So they could have just gotten 30% more hit points, which would be not much, 6 or 7, I suppose. But yeah. Right, so 5 protection, 6 defense. They're not going to be amazing, but the fact that they have blunt pierce resistance and twist fate, or no, fate weaving will be nice, because they'll survive 1 hit almost certainly, and by then, like, they'll have done their fatigue work, and just the fact that we're gonna get so many of them. Like, look at that, we already got 6. It's gonna be good. And we already found a sea oak for another 2 nature gems, so I'm probably want another Kelp King. Okay. I don't really want to step on any toes, but we might want to take spots that have, like, Cliff Coast here. That's really just worth it for the massive income boost. Cast Animate Kelp for the rest of the game, please. Yeah, that's huge. So we're gonna want a fort here. But I guess I could clear out this other stuff, but it's like, can I even make... I can make Ceruleans. Yeah, okay, I can make them off cap. So I probably should. But I'm getting pretty weak here. And our god has arrived. Excellent. I think we'll have you site search now. Haven't found another coastal one yet. but now we will find them all. Oh, there you go. Coastal. That's our 4. Job done. Also this one. Or, yeah, so... we have a decent number of options here. So I took this, but it's like, we don't really... yeah, we took it for the money, and the money is good. Money is good. Right, okay. Well, I guess I can see... I don't know. At this point, it doesn't really matter. It's all about the thrones. As I always tell you. Oh, we cannot lead magic beings. Well, that's fine. We'll bring her all along Azathoth. Sure. That seems like a nice, friendly guy. Oh, goody. M.A. Ermor is here. That's obnoxious. Luckily, it's tough for him to break his dominion into water, where I have, obviously, well, I'm gonna have pretty strong dominion. So I think at this point, although, okay, you can do lines. Awesome. Doing lines. So at this point, the kelp are speed 8. These are speed 16. So probably maybe even hold and attack rear and then just do this guy's. Yeah, I really would rather have him in 2 squads, but just attack closest. We'll see how that... we might want to move back a little further. Yeah, something like that. We'll see. Alright. See how it goes. We shall see the kelp form in true action now. Okay. Okay, hold on. So, let's just look at one that's got Blood Surge active. Right, so yeah, 20 hit points. He already survived a hit. That's good. He's got Fate Weaving 16 versus MR, Blunt and Piercing Resistance. He has 8 defense only, but 18 attack on the Strangulation for 15 blunt damage. Armor Piercing, by the way, that's huge. And does Fatigue. So that would be also 15 Armor Piercing Fatigue. Then the Vine Whip, length 4, 17 attacks, 17 damage, but it maxes out at 1, so that's irrelevant. And it entangles, which is awesome. And then they have the Sleep Vines. Length 3, 17 attack, 33 fatigue, magic resistance negates 3 times. So he does get potential repels on everything, which is why we really wanted to boost attack pretty high. We fucking feeble-minded him with our strangulation. We hit him for 27 fatigue damage. And that does trigger solar weapon effect there. Sleep Vine, solar weapon for 7 points of fire damage. So the Sleep Vines are all going to have the solar weapon effect. Yeah, all the Vine Whip, everything. Every one of his attacks has... Look at this. Fucking 15 fire damage it did. Because... Oh, man. So, fatigue... Yes. Like, insane amount of fatigue, entanglement, and extra fire damage. Like, we're gonna shred basically anything. And we're gonna have just hundreds of these things. And we lost none of them. Yes. Amazing. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Amazing stuff. And they are amphibious. So they are not bound to the lake waters. Lake Minnetonka. Yeah. And we're gonna get a lot of them. Once we get another nature gem up to 6, we'll get another Kelp King to make even more of them, and we'll be rolling in it, baby. But then again, the Slug Riders are also kind of insane. So we probably could, I could move them up a little bit. So just a little bit. Still not... If we want to get the Kelps up there just to do stuff, but I guess the cavalry is just running over things. Jesus. Put him even further up. Hey, bro. Peace. Peace, peace, peace on Earth. Just deleting the heavy cab. Thing of beauty. I can't believe we didn't lose one. A fucking heavy cav charge straight in. But that pierce resistance with 20 hit points. And then just instant fatigue on everything. Asshole. Not quite. Not quite, not quite. Can I beat this? Hate to be wrong. It's a lot of barbarians. I don't think I'll risk it for now. Let's take this. Let's wait for a turn. Hashima declared war on us. And Shinoyama refused. Hashima, huh? Why? Why are you declaring war? Done nothing to you or your people. I just want to be friends with everyone. That's all. Construct palisade. Aragnan Shinuyama agreed. Hashima did not want to break their war for some reason. You little bastard. Okay. Send it again. Let's head back home. Now, I can only carry... Yeah, no, I think we're fine. Just gonna have to take a few more mages, that's all. Mist Coast, Ragewind Heath. None of that is nature. But I think we have an excess here. We can get another Kelp King. Shinuyama declared war on us. Great. Two months remain on this, though, and then we can throw a bunch of PD on it. Pensions are getting high on me, though. I haven't really done anything to anyone. I maybe shouldn't have taken this. Should have stayed in my lane. How could I resist that sweet, sweet money? Whew. Quicksand, Weeping Stone, Moonmere, Song of Birds, and Sparkling Fields. Good God. And he got Nature Magic +1. What the hell? Jeez. We got like one of everything, and there's still no nature. That's wild. Hashima refused again, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, you think that's enough kelps? Sacred kelps? It's a lot of sacreds. It's a lot of sacred. I think we can probably take some thrones. I don't like that this one is Springhawks, but honestly, I don't think it's that big of a deal either. I have a lot of magic damage on a lot of kelps. my god, someone is definitely just spamming Woven Winter on me or something. What the fuck is happening? What the hell? Okay. Spells. By which I mostly mean group bark skin, I guess. Sure, see how it goes. So I am at war now with Shinuyama. I don't know what your big deal is. These guys always just got big giant sticks up their asses. Let's watch our first throne battle. Living Sediment. Also, we got attacked an old flood. Just a tide. It's a fucking tide. We lost 10 kelp forms, 16 cerulins. I'll take it. We also found a crown of the Titans. An enormous cauldron of broth. We killed almost every single thing on there. Beautiful. But we did lose Old Flood. What an ass. What an ass. The sacred Kirans. Damn it. Took Old Floods. And he took this from me. It's annoying, but it's not a game changer, really. I assume his Sacred Kirans. I assume all his shit is, amphibious. Yeah, okay. So... question of like how much money you want to put into PD that he might just run over anyways. It's always the question. Oh yeah, we had another king. Anime kelp, and we did find living sediments for another nature gem. Perfect. Now we can make even more. I mean, at this point, maybe I just bring him back, summon more. Although he can't do it, can he? He's not a priest. Shit. I wonder if we go down here and take this, and then just go and take this and this. I wonder if that's better. I mean, we could go this, take this, this, or this. Yeah, that might be faster, actually, and we don't piss off Marignon as much. We're already at war with Hashima anyways. Hashima ended the war. Oh, excellent. And Shinunama has yet to attack us, so... Excellent. Well, this game got a lot simpler. Hashima declared war. God damn it, got complicated again. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with these people? Why'd you accept? He basically just gave me a few turns to think about what I've done. This is a PD and kelp game. Shinoyama refused again, even though he hasn't attacked me at all, so I don't know. But I think we got this now. And when I say spells, I really do mean group bark skin, by the way. Oh, you can cast whatever. Aragnon is encircling the... He's probably taking this, but I can go through here. Since I'm at war with Hashima anyways. And we want to get a fort on this throne. Oh, I guess we could watch that because it was pretty spectacular. The whips are cracking. Oh my god, man. Kelps. What a combo. We did not lose a single kelp form against a charge of 300 barbarians. And a lot of them, yeah, have swords, so we don't have slashing resistance. Just incredible. We did lose 14 Ceruleans, but that's alright. Okay. Go ahead and construct a palisade there. Go ahead and claim this. Search here. And give me a bunch of PD. So I do still have to kick his ass one more time here. We're not going to go for an NAP. I'd still rather avoid anything with Shinoyama. Pangea, I think we can ignore. Got the Iron Throne. Found a few more spots. Did attack Janumia, where I was moving through with more kelp forms that were not even blessed. But I also had PD. Okay. Pretty much simple now. Oh, Shinoyama finally accepted. Nice. He'll probably declare war next turn. Alright, this was just... Oh, okay. You know, he's got his sacreds versus my sacreds. And they do have awe, but so much for that. Yeah, so much for that, pal. Still didn't lose any kelp forms. Yeah, anytime you can summon sacreds in large numbers, even if it's something like a flagellant or something, I still feel like if you just summon them in these kind of numbers for this cheap, it gets dangerous. At least against the AI, you know? Maybe I'll just wait here for the moment. Oh, that was another throne. Right. We lost 42 kelp form on it. So it was a little bit more painful with all the arrows. Fate Weaving doesn't really help us much against that. Oh, and Falling Fires. Ouch. Doesn't help us much against that either. Yeah, that'll happen. 15 more Ceruleans, blah, blah, blah. Okay. It's fine. Going to claim here. Search here. And maybe we should send out another pack. The final pack. We can bring along one of our kelp kings. Slowly. How the hell did he get here? How the hell did he get there? From what spot? What connection here got him to the fields of gold? Can anyone answer that? That seems wild. We got Sidnos, the Knight of the Deep. Sacred. But he's aquatic only, so I don't care. And now Maragnon took it over from him. Okay, great. I gotta go all the way around. Yeah, okay. Just wait. Yeah, you know. Someone's been casting Woven Winter this whole time. I imagine it's him. He's got a lot of water. Yeah, he definitely... Yeah, he definitely has access to 3 water. He's been spamming me with Woven Winter. What a little asshole. Golden Throne has been claimed. We lost the Velvet Ocean. That's annoying. We're getting there. I want the biggest army for the final battle. That's how I like to do it. Yeah, I could wait for this guy to then get over there, but then when does it end? We got enough. We're starving. Alright, we got our pretender here, we got everything here. Now we march. You're just going to be casting spells as an underwater battle, it's even better. He's got a shit ton of water gems he can spam down there. It's a lot of kelp form. Could be just a-okay. What could possibly go wrong? This measly little PD. You should just run for your lives. Whip, 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 whip. Whip, 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 whip. Entangle, entangle, fatigue. Dead, 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 dead. We lost one little kelp guy. And we breached immediately. So storm. Storm, storm, storm. Alright, the final throne battle. Oh no, he attacked me first. Tried desperately to stop me with his sharks. Good luck with that. I think they're gonna get entangled and whipped down. You don't usually see sacreds with this number of attacks, you know, and so solar weapons, I feel, was really inspired choice on my part. Okay, so in that first one we lost 3 kelps, 1 rider. Fortress battle we lost 3 riders. Technically we lost 3 slugs. Yeah. You know, I think I'm pretty happy with my choice. Victory. Wow, that was pretty quick. Pretty damn quick, man. Yeah. Now, it's hard to say, right? Because I can only ever comment on single player balance. And these kelp are not the end-all be-all for units in a multiplayer setting. Because they do have, you know, really low defense and really low protection. And so any sort of fire or, you know, any kind of AoE magic is going to be pretty painful for them. But, you know, I do have access to a pretty nice variety of spellcasters. So if I was going up against a Fire Nation in a multiplayer game, you know, it wouldn't be that much for me to get Flame Ward going or something like that. I don't know. I think they're pretty nasty. I think that usually you don't throw this number of attacks on a Sacred. But I don't know. I mean, I enjoyed this because I just love, like, analyzing a nation like that and just being like, oh, well, this could work. This could work with this if we do this bless. And, oh, holy shit. I mean, yeah, pretty damn strong. The fact that solar weapons triggers on all those attacks, 5 different attacks that are happening every round, and you get an entanglement, and you have pierce and blunt resistant. Like, it's a lot. I don't know if they're really OP though, because it's like without, I don't know. Like, if you took this unit as is and took off the Sacred, would you make a lot of them? Probably you still would, yes. I think you would. I don't think they could be quite as the mainstay of your army sort of thing. But they're still pretty nasty with 20 hit points, 5 protection, blunt pierce resistance, and 5 attacks with that much fatigue damage and an entanglement. They're still pretty nasty. So they might be OP. They might actually be OP. I think you probably could remove the Vine Whip entirely. And that would probably help quite a bit to bring them into balance. And then the Cerulean Rider, I don't think is really OP. But at the same time, it basically has heavy cav costs for something that's definitely cheaper than most heavy cav. You get 18 protection, 12 defense, 18 hit points. And the mount has 42 hit points for 50 gold, 22 resource, 27 recruitment points. Whereas if we look at, say, Maragnon and their Royal Guard, you get 21 protection, 16 defense, less hit points, and the mount has double the protection but only 22 hit points. I mean, it's similar, right? In different ways. Similar in different ways. The same gold cost, but 66 resources, 51 recruitment points. So I think the I think the resource cost is probably on point, but the recruitment point should be like 42 or something like that. I mean, it's probably auto-calculated based on some sort of algorithm, but the fact that your mounts also trample, I mean, yeah, they probably should cost more like 50 or something plus recruitment point, considering trample with poison barbs and a 20 damage bite with 42 hit points and still having 10 protection. It's a little much. I could have probably just won with these. Tramplers should be quite cost prohibitive most of the time. Or really quite vulnerable. Like a troglodyte. So yeah, having cavalry, trampling heavy cavalry is pretty fearsome. So I would rank this nation fairly OP. And I think that's evident based on how quickly we stomped everything. I mean, yeah, it is turn 47. And that's kind of not... That's probably kind of average, all things considered. If we get decent throne placement. I don't think that's too far out of the realm. But yeah, it seems a bit OP. But then, yeah, it's just like... But I felt kind of forced into this position. This speed and encumbrance, this shouldn't be, man. I don't know if this was intentional. I'd love to hear the rationale, because for me, these units are basically unusable. And I don't know why you'd ever pick any of this shit with 2 combat speed and 8 encumbrance when you have these things here that are just better in every way. In every conceivable way, they're just better. So... And a lot of nations do suffer from a problem where it's like, okay, you have a bunch of kind of useless units. You're probably never going to recruit because you kind of have better stuff. But this is a really stark example where basically you have a roster of 1 usable unit. And that's really kind of it. I mean, yeah, the hunters are okay as far as like a militia is concerned. They do get nets. But 5 protection, 5 defense, no shield, no armor. It's like, it's not really great at all. And then the other sacred, it's definitely more usable. And we could have gone with a bless specifically suited to these guys a bit more to help them, like a lot of undying and stuff. To help them do a bunch of mind blasts and then survive with life drain in combat and melee. But then you give me sacred kelp forms that I can just spam out basically on turn 2. Forever. It's like, yeah, okay. So probably needs some work, in my opinion. But again, that's a single player opinion, and I play pretty quick games, so I'm not the best person to judge probably. But all right, that'll do it. That was a quick video. People are going to click on this thinking that I just lose instantly, but no. The kelp reigns supreme. Also, I'm pretty sure Ermor just got destroyed completely. Yeah, they, oh boy. Where is Ermor's capital? Oh, it's here. It's being besieged. Yeah. Jeez, Pangea really just ran over him. It's a big snowball effect there. Ooh, look at this battle. Oh man, I wish I could have witnessed that one. That is half your army in one go. He never recovered from that. You think he just ran it into a throne? I think that was probably this throne. Wild. Alright, anyways, another good game. I'm glad we did MA Lentia, though, instead of jumping right to LA. I like having the progression. So... yeah, I mean, I think EA Lentia definitely suffered a bit more. I was struggled a bit more. They had the shark kin. I don't remember exactly what we did with them, but I remember it being a bit more involved. But yeah, good stuff. All right, my name is Mangg. Game you're watching has been Dominion 6. I'll see you fine folks around.